going to be moving up to men's lightweight and kind of breaking down basically the biggest fight that could be happening at this weight division besides Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko fight, and that is Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. Now I'm going to talk about kind of both sides, and it's a very polarizing kind of fight. There's the Ryan Garcia fan base side that's very much high on him and think that he's easily going to beat Luke. I saw stuff like knockout in the first round, knockout in the second round, Ryan Garcia's levels above Luke, all this kind of stuff. And then I saw the other side that quite honestly just thinks of Ryan Garcia as an Instagram hype job. And where I am on this whole situation is I'm more in the middle. I think Ryan Garcia is a little bit inflated in terms of, because of his social media, he does get a lot of attention, and I think people that are in his fan base think he's better than he actually is, especially when you look at his actual resume. But I don't see why he can't give issues to Luke Campbell. That said, I see Luke Campbell winning this fight. I'm not going to really mix words about this. I think Luke Campbell takes control of this fight and dominates. And the reason I say that is, you know, when you look at the Jorge Linares fight and the Lomachenko fight, both guys are top level fighters. And with the Jorge Linares fight, a lot of people feel like he won that fight. He got a split decision loss in that, but I think a lot of people feel like he really did win that fight. And with the Lomachenko fight, I mean, he really did well in that fight. I mean, there's very few fighters that can even go the distance with Lomachenko, let alone cause as many problems as Luke Campbell did. You know, I'm going to show some video here of that fight and kind of talk about some of the strength Luke Campbell has that allow him to do so well against guys like Lomachenko, and why I think it's also going to give problems for Ryan Garcia. And that has to go down to really Luke Campbell being very skillful using his jab and using his reach and his height to his advantage. Luke Campbell does a great job of controlling distance, and it's one thing that he really did well against Lomachenko. Lomachenko has masterful footwork, certainly better footwork than Ryan Garcia. And if Ryan Garcia is going to be effective with those quick hands, he's going to need to get on the inside. Luke Campbell is just going to use that reach that he has and try to keep him on the outside as much as possible. I think that Ryan Garcia is going to try to kind of get inside and use his speed to get single power shots maybe, but he's not going to be as effective as Luke Campbell is when he's going to be sitting there trying to pepper him from the outside. Now, I think that, you know, Luke Campbell really needs this fight for a couple reasons. Number one, I think that since the Lomachenko fight, a lot of people have been discounting Luke. You start hearing headlines about big lightweights, contenders for these belts. The people I always hear about Tank, I hear about Devin Haney, obviously hear about Ryan Garcia all the time, but I don't hear about Luke Campbell anymore. It's like Luke Campbell doesn't have a chance anymore at these belts. When Devin Haney has a belt, Luke Campbell absolutely has a chance at getting the WBC strap. So there's no question about it that whoever wins this Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell fight absolutely could get a fight with Devin Haney. And there you go. Instantly, Luke Campbell could beat Devin Haney and be WBC champion again. A lot of people, they don't think about Luke Campbell as a major contender. They always talk about some of these other young prospects. The reason I think this is a great fight for Ryan Garcia, and I'm going to kind of talk about the benefits of this fight for Ryan Garcia, is that, like I said, in a lot of boxing experts' eyes, Ryan Garcia has a very weak resume. And I think he does have a weak resume, and he doesn't have an Olympic background, which a lot of people like to see and point to as a sign of kind of pedigree when you're an amateur. He doesn't have that, and because of that, I think he gets discounted a lot of times. And I think that if he beats Luke Campbell, it kind of shows that he is that next step up and he is ready to kind of contend. I mean, how great would that be to see Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia go at it? You know, these kind of two young undefeated prospects going at it for the WBC regular belt. I mean, it'd be fantastic. But, you know, until he beats someone like a Luke Campbell, I don't see Devin Haney wanting to fight someone like a Ryan Garcia, really. I don't think he needs to. And so I think for Ryan Garcia, for him to be elevated to that kind of mandatory position, I think he absolutely needs to beat Luke Campbell get that interim belt and, you know, really try to set up something with Devin Haney. So in the end, we'll see if this deal actually gets done and these actual fights happen. But until then, it's always fun to kind of talk about it and see people's opinion. Like I said, I'm on the side that Luke Campbell wins the fight, but at the same time, I really want to see if Ryan Garcia can step up. I think Ryan Garcia has a long future ahead of him in the lightweight division. I think he's a really great young fighter. Who knows, if he does lose, he could definitely learn from it and adapt and come back even stronger, and they could have a rematch. Who knows? But I think for right now, Luke Campbell is a step above, and I would favor him to get a, you know, unanimous decision or maybe a late stoppage if that fight did happen currently. Now we're going to